I know I was microwaving it and I was like, holy son. Trader Joe's, you're outdoing yourself. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
These are really good. Yeah, that again, another surprise. You know, I wouldn't be mad at it if I was served it, but it's not my favorite. Blurg, blurg, blurg. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be trying all the Trader Joe's food we could find in the frozen section that was labeled vegan. So the first item we're trying today is Trader Joe's Japchae. It's a Korean sweet potato glass noodles in vegetable stir fry. So it's got different kinds of veggies in it. So we got some spinach, it looks like.
Onion.
Yeah, some red pepper.
A lot of carrots.
Lots of carrots. And then some glass noodles. So it doesn't look like it has too much sauce on it. Let's try. The noodles have like a nice kind of bounciness to it. So they picked some pretty good glass noodles for this.
Yeah. I mean, I think what you said already is true. I think it's missing a little bit of that sauce. Because I remember when we had this in Korea, the sauce was like a huge component of it, where like the noodles themselves were actually almost like brown because they're just coated in like a sweet like soy sauce kind of sauce. But other than that, I think everything else is really good. I mean, the noodles are spot on. The vegetables are cooked well. I think maybe if I was making this, the only improvement I would say is like add just a little touch of soy sauce on top.
These ones are kind of a little bit more oily than what we're used to without having that balance to flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say this is comparable to a lot of other Trader Joe's frozen meals that you can just put in the microwave, and it's really good quality for the price. So the next item we're trying is Trader Joe's Korean Beefless Bulgogi. It's a plant-based bulgogi style strips marinated in a sweet and savory soy sauce. So the smell of this really is reminiscent of Korean barbecue. So it really has that nice like meaty smell to it, even though it's vegan. Oh my God, that is really good. Like this feels and tastes like meat.
Yeah, the texture is spot on. Same with like the meatiness and the depth of flavor that it reminds me of, like kind of like strips of steak. Is spot on. This is delicious.
Yeah, so if you're really missing kind of that Korean barbecue style where you put your meat strips on the little grill in front of you and all of that, this is a really good substitute for it.
I only have good things to say about this. Like the texture is right on point. I mean, it's almost got like a fatty layer to it, which is kind of unique to have for a, a meatless beef option.
And they did a really good job. Good job, Trader Joe's. You guys really knocked this one out of the park.
I know you probably could taste it if you're one-on-one, but if you're trying to switch, this is an easy alternative to try and start going kind of meatless.
In Korean barbecue, one of the things you can do is take some of the meat that you cook and then put it inside lettuce with a little bit of hot sauce and eat it like that. And so if you put that inside of there, ooh, that would be really good.
I also think if you use this for like a steak and cheese sandwich.
Ooh, like a Philly cheesesteak?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a good thing.
Because it reminds me a lot of like when I used to eat beef, like that kind of flavor. And having that as a cheesesteak sandwich would be really amazing.
The next product we're trying is Trader Joe's vegan pasta bolognese. It's a meatless, plant-based bolognese style sauce with mushrooms and red lentil pasta. Surprisingly though, for the whole bowl, it's only 430 calories and it's got a whopping 13 grams of fiber.
That's a lot of fiber.
So this is definitely gonna be something that fills you up. So let's give it a try. So it's got little tiny pasta noodles in here.
It's kind of just like a generic red sauce. It's kind of how I would describe it.
Yeah, it doesn't have like too much overpowering flavor. And it feels meaty, but it's not, you can't really like taste like the meat in it.
But overall, I think it's just like a little under seasoned and it's kind of just more generic of a sauce.
The noodles are actually pretty decent for being made out of mushrooms and red lentils.
Yeah. I also think like you can make this dish yourself pretty easily with just having a generic red sauce without really needing the meaty parts of it, and then adding in some vegetables and just cooking some mushrooms, and that would basically be like close to this exact product. Yeah, I think I like the Japchae better than this one.
Yeah, the Japchae was more of the classic Trader Joe's frozen meals where you kind of know what you're getting. It's going to be that solid B level where it's like pretty good for what you're getting, but it's not going to be restaurant quality. So the next product we're trying is Trader Joe's gluten-free battered plant-based fish fillets, saying they're tender and flaky.
Yeah, and so the way we prepared these was I microwaved them for like 1.5 to 2 minutes so they would defrost a little bit. And then these also recommend like you could probably cook these in an air fryer if you had one. But I just put in our cast iron and heated it up so it get crispy on the outside, so not soggy, because these are supposed to be kind of crispy, like, battered fish fries kind of stuff. And then in the package itself, it came with 3 of the fish fillets.
There's only 3 fish fillets in here? Mm-hmm. Oh, damn. Well, let's give it a go. Got a nice crispy outside. That's a pretty good fish fillet.
Yeah.
I feel like this would be really nice kind of as your classic like fish and chips dish, but if you want it vegan, and getting it from Trader Joe's in the frozen section, this is a pretty good deal.
But again, the batter on the outside is crispy itself. The inside is nice and juicy, and it's got kind of like a shreddy, pull apart consistency.
Yeah, it's got a nice texture inside. It's kind of trying to mimic that like fish fillet texture.
Yeah, like cod or like any of that kind of like white fish.
Yeah.
Based on the package itself, right, it does have like maybe a little lemon would be good to kind of, what you normally do with fish and chips in general. And then they also have some kind of like tartar sauce, I was like. So this would probably go well if you dipped it in a sauce like that. Not that it came with one, but those would be a good complement to the actual fish fillet. How do you think it compares to the one that we had when we were in England? That fish and chips, but that was the fishless chips.
Yeah, I would say the other one, because that was made at an actual restaurant and was like freshly prepared, I would say that was much better. So then the next product we're trying is Trader Joe's vegetable masala burger with authentic Indian spices.
Yeah, and in the package itself, it came with 4 patties. They're kind of on the thinner side, but you had 4 individual patties.
You can see from this one, there's a lot of chunks of vegetables in the actual patty. So it's not one of the like soy meat kind of patties for vegans. This one's much more leaning into the vegetable side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see if we can taste those spices. Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, it nails the authentic Indian spices with that like masala style. It's really good. I mean, it's similar to like if I've ever spiced an Indian dish. It's the exact same kind of flavor profile.
It tastes really similar to the inside of a samosa.
Yeah.
So if you took that kind of with the potatoes, the peas, and the other vegetables and turned that into a patty, that's what you get here. And it's really good for being, again, Trader Joe's frozen section.
Yeah, and I don't think, based on how good the spices are in this, I don't think I would need to add anything else to it. Not like a barbecue sauce or ketchup or anything like that. Maybe if you so inclined, like some lettuce or spinach or something, and then obviously a nice big patty between this. But overall, I think it's really good. I cooked it the same way, microwaved it to kind of defrost it, and then cooked it in the pan so each side got nice and crispy. And so that method really helped even out the heating, and the outside is nice and crispy now.
Yeah, I feel like what would go really good with this, instead of just having burger buns, would be taking Trader Joe's naan bread and putting it inside that, kind of like a little sandwich, like folding it in between. I feel like that would go really good, and maybe with some chutney, like tamarind chutney or something. I feel like that would make a really excellent meal.
Yeah, and then that's pretty easy because like it's nice because what you're talking about with the naan, it's a 4-pack. This is a 4-pack, so you have an even number of naan to burgers, and you can just pick it all up at the same one-stop place.
So the next product we're trying is Trader Joe's Chickenless crispy tenders. This one's made with soy and whole grains.
It looks like a classic chicken nugget. I mean, you'd probably make any shape they want, but this is pretty good.
Yeah. This is definitely more on the fake meat side of the taste. It doesn't really taste like chicken. It tastes more like the replacement meats that you find in a lot of these, fake meat products. Yeah. This definitely has that taste to it.
It's got a nice crispiness, but the inside is not the texture I thought I was going to look for. It definitely doesn't have any seasoning really going on with it, so you would need a dipping sauce. Like the package obviously recommends ketchup, but something like a barbecue sauce or whatever you normally like to dip in your nuggets, it definitely needs that to complement the rest of the actual like nugget itself.
Okay, the next thing from Trader Joe's we're trying is the Chickenless Mandarin Orange Morsels.
Yeah, so for these, I did the same thing where I microwaved them briefly to get them nice and soft, then cooked them on either side in the cast iron, and once they were both kind of crispy, I threw in the sauce that's on top of it.
So these are really good. They have kind of that reminiscence of going to a Chinese restaurant and getting your Americanized, you know, orange chicken kind of dish that has that nice, you know, crunchiness on the outside and the glaze, but then having more of that like chickeny taste on the inside. And these ones have much more of that chicken flavor than the previous ones we tried of the chickenless tenders.
Yeah.
So these ones they did a good job on.
And then the sauce, I love how like it's a sticky kind of classic, really good orange flavor, that sweetness that you expect from it. I think it's also one of those things if you did like a family style dinner, these are the perfect thing to have because you can share it because they are individual. So if you have a family of 4, this is gonna be one component of your meal, or family of 1, you can do all of them, whatever. But like as a single component, then you again have some nice rice, have some other things on the side as well. Maybe some like stir-fried veggies too.
So we've just finished all of the savory items from Trader Joe's frozen section that are labeled as vegan. And so for me, my favorite one that just really blew me away was the Korean Beefless Bulgogi. Sorry for the pronunciation, but that one, they just did such a great job of having the seasoning in there, and the texture really had that beefy flavor and like having that fat in there. So that would definitely be my number one. Like I'm definitely getting that again. And then a close second is the Mandarin Orange Morsels. Those ones were also really good. It had a nice sauce to it, and it had a really good texture inside. And the third one that I would also get again that was really good was the Masala burgers. Those ones had a really good combination of spices in there and a nice like crispy outside. So those are my top 3 choices for Trader Joe's. What about you?
I think I'll echo what you just said. I think those 3 definitely were my favorite. And I think the reason why, if you compare those 3 to the other ones, I think were the tiers below it, was the seasoning and the flavoring in all of those was like spot on to the description of what you were looking for and expecting out of like the item. Whereas the ones that were lower down, just they were missing something in terms of the spice or the flavor or the different things like that.
But those would be our top 3 recommendations of, we really hope Trader Joe's keeps those in rotations because they're notorious of changing out their items if they don't sell enough. So hopefully they keep those 3 because those are really good items.
Yeah, so go out and buy them so that they keep them in the frozen section so you can have them in the future.
Let us know in the comments below what other vegan items from Trader Joe's you'd like us to try. The next item we're trying is Trader Joe's vegan cookies and cream vanilla bean bonbons. So it's a coconut non-dairy frozen dessert enrobed in a chocolatey coating. These are quite big for a bonbon.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
The chocolate is nice on the outside of it.
Yeah, it's got like a nice chocolatey coat on the outside.
Oh, there's like, actually looks like there's chocolate pieces inside.
Yeah, it's cookies and cream flavored.
Yeah. Oh, that's like the JoJo. It's like the cookie that's inside. The star of it is the chocolate shell.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's like a nice dark chocolate, really rich. And then it's cool having pieces I'm guessing are similar to like a JoJo on the inside.
Yeah, the ice cream itself doesn't have really a coconutty flavor. So if you're a person who doesn't like coconut ice cream, this one would actually be pretty good because you don't get coconut flavor. However, you don't really also get it's supposed to be a cookies and cream flavor. That's not really strong. So the next one we're trying is Trader Joe's Hold the Dairy Mini Non-Dairy Frozen Dessert Cones. And we got the salted caramel flavored one. So this is vegan, and they're little mini cones.
They come wrapped in this cute little silver wrapping.
Yeah, so it's a nice individual package.
It's pretty cool. It's got like the nice like little, like a small amount of ice cream on top with some chocolate chunks. It looks like so kind of like a swirl and like a nice little cone.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I'd say it's like not too overwhelming for a caramel flavor. It's kind of more of a subtle, like caramel ice cream.
When you bite into it, the cone, the inside is actually dipped with chocolate. So then it's got like the cone, then a chocolate like layer, and then the actual ice cream itself. The cone is very good. I mean, it's like the perfect bite size. It basically only took me like 2 bites, 3 bites to like finish this off. So it's cool that it's that small and a good little flavor. So it's like a little bit of a dessert. I mean, it's not. You can't tell, I think, from eating this that it is vegan. Like, you know, sometimes you can have vegan ice creams that are either like very almondy or very like coconutty or something like that. This kind of blends in with an average. I think the flavor, like the bonbon one, could be turned up just a little bit more to be more caramel, more salty. It would have been nice to have some like sea salt on top. Maybe I would have been kind of missing it.
So it looks like it's actually a rice-based with coconut flavor for the ice cream. So it's not one of the traditional flavors or bases that are used to make ice cream for vegans. So the next item we're trying is Trader Joe's Oat Non-dairy frozen dessert sandwiches. And these are vanilla flavored with other natural flavors, and these are vegan. These are really good because it has that nice ice cream that's made from oat milk. So it has that kind of like almost nutty, like oaty flavor to it and really complements the chocolate and just the ice cream in general. So this is really good for being dairy free.
I think I really like the chocolate stuff that's on the outside of the ice cream sandwich. It kind of gives me that nostalgia feel.
Yeah, the wafers.
Of like having these type of ice cream sandwiches when I was a kid, and you get them, you know, from the frozen section and have them as a nice like dessert. So it really matches that flavor. And then I do like it's almost like an adjacent flavor to vanilla, and it still works really well. Like the two chocolate and the vanilla ice cream complement each other really well. So these are really good and really, I think I would get these again in the future.
Yeah. The next item we're trying is Trader Joe's Very Chocolatey Oat Non-dairy frozen dessert with fudge brownies. So this one's also vegan.
And also it's what, oat milk, right?
Yeah, so this one's made with oat milk. So it's supposed to be chocolatey and fudgy brownie. That is really good. Again, it has, because it's using that oat milk, it really blends in well. This one you can't taste that it's oat milk because it has that chocolate in there. Also, this has little fudgy brownie bits in it, which is really nice because I always like those ice creams that have like little chunks and stuff going on. So this one has like the nice little fudgy brownies in there, so it really elevates the chocolate.
It kind of reminds me of that Ben & Jerry's like chocolate fudge brownie flavor that they have. If you made that but with oat milk, it's like that adjacent flavor, and it's because it's got the same kind of elements to it. The brownie bites are really nice. They're nice, like, again, adds a nice texture to it. They have a nice chew to them as well. The chocolate flavor is spot on.
Yeah, the chocolate is really rich for this, and so it's like if you like chocolate ice cream, this would be really good. So the next one we're trying is Trader Joe's Cold Brew Coffee and Boba Coconut Non-Dairy Frozen Dessert with Tapioca Pearls. I have to say I've never heard of an ice cream having boba in it before, so I'm really curious to try this one.
I don't think I've ever had boba in a coffee drink either. I've only ever had it like in a tea drink.
Yeah, coming more into the coffee, that's kind of like the new age style of where it's going. But yeah, it's usually classically in the black tea. Now Trader Joe's also had this one instead of the cold brew coffee. It had it as black tea, but we were unable to get it at our Trader Joe's.
Yeah, it's got a nice, like, subtle coffee flavor. That's not, like, punch you in the face, but it's nice. It's not bitter either. It's, like, more normal kind of coffee ice cream flavor.
Yeah, it's like a kind of your standard coffee flavored ice cream. And then the boba's inside actually still has a really good chew texture to it. Like, it hasn't gotten that frozen kind of weird stuff that can happen when you freeze boba. So Trader Joe's did a really good job of putting actually good boba inside their coffee ice cream.
Yeah, I just got the boba on the second bite. Yeah, it has that nice, like, chewy kind of consistency, so it is nice to have those, like, contrasting, like, ice cream with the soft creaminess and the kind of chew with it, but it's not like a gummy bear chew. It's more of like a boba traditional chew that you would expect.
Yeah, and I think they did a good job of choosing coconut ice cream with this because you can't taste the coconut, but it adds that really nice, rich, kind of fatty texture to it, the creaminess, which you want in a coffee ice cream. So it like almost feels like a more like a latte than a coffee, and then adding that in with the boba. They did a really good job with this, and it's vegan. Okay, so for Trader Joe's frozen vegan desserts, I would have to say my favorite was the fudgy brownie one. That one I thought it had really good chocolatey flavor, but then also had the little nice fudgy brownie bits in it. So you get that nice kind of mixture of textures. So that one was my #1 favorite. And then I would say my second favorite was actually the little ice cream sandwiches. Those ones had that really nostalgic factor into it of eating those ice cream sandwiches as a kid, but now it's made out of oat milk. And then my third favorite would be the boba with the cold brew coffee ice cream. That one, again, they did a really good job of making it taste not vegan at all. So it tasted like real ice cream. And then I don't know how they did it, but they got the boba to be inside the ice cream and have that really good boba texture. What about you?
Yeah, I think for me, I really liked the nostalgia factor of the ice cream sandwiches. I think that's something I would definitely get again because I liked how good the actual wafer is and the ice cream is really good. Like those two things are really nice, and like having it as an easy ice cream sandwich is totally up my alley. And then I did agree with like the chocolate fudge brownie. It really reminded me of that Ben and Jerry's flavor. It was just non-dairy version of it, and really good brownie bits, good rich chocolate. Those two things were really good. And then everything else I think was kind of below that, and they're all kind of equal to me. I did say like of the other three, I did think that the chocolate on the bonbon was the best chocolate like flavor. Like that was a nice rich dark chocolate. Well, I hope you enjoyed us tasting through all these different vegan frozen items that we got at Trader Joe's. I know we did, and definitely found some new items that we'd never had before and we'll definitely get again. So let us know if you tried any of these products, what your favorite was down below. And if you like to see this type of content and you want to see another video similar to it, watch the video on the screen right now. We hope to see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.